These women are rating themselves way too high. I'm sorry. I know, like, I'm a solid 5, a solid 4 in the dating world. I'm just gonna keep it real. They don't have businesses. They don't have houses. They have some long pum pum with 5 different kids from 5 different other men. But other than that, what makes you think that you even come close to a 3? I'm sorry.
See, back in the day, love, that people used to talk about, that's back in the day, love. You understand?
Nowadays,
them people had something to fight for, and also the men them felt wanted, they felt needed at the time. This is a today, love.
Yeah.
So now you have to weigh up how much years is practical for me with this so-called woman that claims, say, I adore and I love. Because you have to think now, right? In today's rapidly evolving dating landscape, unrealistic dating standards are increasingly shaping perceptions of love and attraction. These expectations can lead to dissatisfaction in both single individuals and those in committed relationships. Over the next 5 to 10 years, the impact of these standards may become more pronounced, driven by social media portrayals and digital platforms that highlight superficial connections over meaningless or meaningful interactions. Studies have shown that individuals grappling with unrealistic dating expectations often experience high levels of anxiety, relationship dissatisfaction, as people strive for unattainable ideals. They risk facing loneliness, increased pressure, and a diminished sense of self-worth, impacting their mental health and rational fulfillment. In recognition the harm of these superficial standards, we must advocate for deeper connections founded on authenticity, logical and emotional understandings, right? And I read it off because I think it's very important for you to understand that for the videos that's going to be shown. And then after we'll break down on the back end. All right, you get me?
You do.
I'm the founder and CEO of Smartly Technologies. One of the best inventions that we've done is the Smart Business Card. That's basically you tap somebody's phone, all the information comes into it right off bat in seconds. We also do services on Instagram and TikTok.
I'm 46.
I am 52. And I'm 40.
42.
40.
And 43. I just turned 43.
Why did you end up popping your balloon?
I popped my balloon because he's not my type. I don't like the haircut. It's kind of not my thing.
Kind of cliche. It's a little sad, but only because of the shoes. Like, I like the signature, obviously, but it was like the shoes kind of threw me. Like
Really?
moon boots.
Gucci?
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't that it was Gucci. It was more that it was just shoes. I like the shirt. I like the fit, but
You still like the shoes?
Yeah.
I understand that.
You think they're too like bulky? Or?
Yeah.
Why did you end up popping your balloon?
I don't have a physical attraction for him, so I don't like faking the funk, so.
Got it. Okay, and what is it? I popped my balloon because I don't want to seem vain, but I'm not attracted to him at all. And for me, attraction comes first. Otherwise, it's kind of like a shutdown.
For me, it's mainly the height. Like, I like someone that I can look up to.
Low IQ. Like, and some people, it's not that deep, really. I've never ever been brought up that way to even think like that.
Yeah.
When I was very young, I remember a girl saying that she went to a concert and saw this guy on the stage with a guitar. She said, I've never seen a guy in just a plain white t-shirt rock so good. His aura was everything. And I think personality, aura, everything comes before.
It wins, isn't it? 100%.
Like material things. So for me, it's very, relate.
The women are just shallow, man.
Yeah.
Everything was exterior based, innit? But I mean, that's what the questions that they're asking, innit? Really?
Yeah.
It's mad.
And I think people think they want certain things, but don't realise. Like for myself, I'm a short guy. So you see that my height online. I meet girls a lot taller than me outside. They don't actually think they don't know. They meet you and they're like, yeah, I like you. But then they got a list of things they want. I couldn't give you a list of things I want on a girl. I know I want the basics, the honesty, the loyalty, the real. That should come standard though. But I'm not gonna anything outside of that. I'm not gonna say height or weight. I'm like, if you're good, you're good.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like these women past 40, they're still entitled to what I don't know. Like this man's 47. See, obviously, apart from, as they said, the physical attraction, outside of that, but that's one component.
Yeah.
That's one component. Outside of the physical attraction, he sounds like he's got more or less everything else that you're asking for.
You seem like he got it together.
Yeah.
He can also change his
Man, even
shoes.
working with Instagram and TikTok and that.
Yeah.
With the digital money platform, his invention. Like, are we moving mad out here?
The social media, man, I think it's just shaping people's mindsets, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially women.
I think it's also making women, not in a rude way, right? I'm just saying this so no one can come back and look at this video without any context and say I'm a misogynistic, racist, homophobe. You feel me?
Yeah, but even
But
if they do,
even if they do, they won't look at this. They won't look at this footage, but it's just proof. It's just proof. Yeah, little disclaimer. These women are rating themselves way too high. I'm sorry. I know, like, I'm a solid 5, a solid 4 in the dating world. I'm just gonna keep it real. I'm a solid 5'4".
And that's
Right?
you being
That's
nice
me
to
being
yourself.
nice to myself. I'm not even trying to say, oh, I'm this. No, realistically, I don't have my license. I don't have a business. I don't have a car. I don't have a house. I'm not established enough for me to say anything above a 5 in terms of look, and that's it. These women are rating themselves way too high. They don't have businesses. They don't have houses. They have some long pum-pum with 5 different kids from 5 different other men. But other than that, what makes you think that you even come close to a 3? I'm sorry. Like, if you're not bringing anything to the table, if you're not being, if you can't, what's the word?
Bring the mic closer.
Oh, sorry. If you can't entertain me both intellectually and physically, what do you bring to the table?
Okay, so let me ask you a question. What would you want a girl to entertain you more with, physically or intellectually?
Intellectually. I'd rather have a nice...
Because mainly you're going to get one out of the two.
I know. But I'll be honest with you, I'd rather have a woman who I'm attracted to, both physically, who I can also have a really deep and intellectual conversation with. Like, I want to be able to talk to you about topics that I really think heavily on. Or I might want to be able to go out and do something that I really wanted to do, but didn't want to do myself. I want to go out there and make memories with you. I want to have a connection with someone. The whole point of dating and having a woman and finding one is to build a connection. If I'm going to go out with someone who I already know is a narcissistic, egotistical fuck,
the thing is,
why am I going to waste my time?
How long can you build that connection for?
Months.
Because
it can be months, sometimes it can be years.
It can evolve.
Literally, it can evolve as well. Sometimes you might go from hating each other to loving each other and then back to hating it, bro.
I get that, because what I'm trying to get you, what I've noticed nowadays is, right, you see, back in the day, love that people used to talk about, that's back in the day, love. You understand?
Nowadays,
then people had something to fight for. And also the men them felt wanted, they felt needed at the time. This is a today love.
Yeah.
So now you have to weigh up how much years is practical for me with this so-called woman that claims, say, I adore and I love. Because you have to think now, right? When you meet and you chatting up this woman or this female or whoever, she gains the leverage. You understand? Then when you clap the cheek, you regain the leverage. Do you understand where I'm coming from? And then now you're in a relationship, bang, bang, you're still on your game, you still got the leverage. You get me? Maybe you get married. You just gave her the leverage back.
So just get to the
And then now you have a child with this woman. She got full leverage. Do you understand? So now her manipulation game that she's been running on you is full. Cause guess what? She can almost have you like a puppet at this point and do what almost ever she wants you to do. You understand? Because you just willingly just gave it up without having to actually putting in real work for that. So that's all I'm saying.
That's also what I mean by a woman who I can talk to on levels and do things.
Nah, bro, bro. This is what I'm telling you. You guys need to be smart. You guys know women. Danny, you know women. You know how women can chat a good game and spin a good game, and then later on down the line, it's just the same shit all over
I'm talking
again.
about one that can talk her talk and walk her walk at the same time.
I hear that. But guess what? What position are you in to get one of them gal. But I'll give it to you. You're still a young Donny, so you got time.
got time.
I'll give it to you
go
on
out
that
there,
one. You're
try
still a
build a
young Donny, you
business,
got
try get
time.
my stuff
But all
patterned,
I'm
yeah.
saying, do not be fooled by the sweet words and the sweet viscular insides of a woman. Do not be fooled by that. Because a lot of men get fooled by that and throw away their life, throw away their future, and then they complain about, oh, this ratchet woman, this baby mother won't let me see my pickney. No, you
that's
were
your own
ratchet
fault,
too,
yeah.
because guess what? You allowed yourself to be fooled by that. You knew she was ratchet before you impregnated her. So now why are you complaining? You understand? Because men are going to clap down cheeks anyway. But I'm just saying, be careful of the position you put yourself in. Because I don't want to be hearing no complaining later.
But that's what I mean, bro. I need me a girl that I can chat to on level. Someone who I...
Now, I agree with that.
No, but
I
someone
agree
who
with that.
who has someone to rep for them. So if I know this guy for a few years, I've known him for 5 years, I can trust him, we've been through thick and thin, we've had arguments and whatnot, and he tells me about this gal. Yeah, let me tell you about this girl. If like we started talking, let me tell you about this gal is this, and this. If he tells me to stay away from her, I'm going to take his word for it because I've known this guy for time. He's reps this gal. He's saying, yo, bro, this is not the one. I'm dipping. But if he comes to me and says, yeah, I've known her for a while. She's a good girl. She spends her time volunteering at this community center. She goes and does this sometimes.
It's
she
not
has
always going to be like that.
I know, but if I
What's
have
intellectual to you? What's intellectual to you?
someone who is actually smart and puts their intellect to good use.
All right.
Like for me,
That just sounds like a combative woman to me, bro.
A combative woman.
An educated, intellectual woman always comes across as a combative woman because she always feels she knows better than you.
No.
So even when you as the man think you can lead and she feels she knows better than you, she ain't going to take your standing and she ain't going to take your telling. Do you understand? And another thing, I get that you're young as well. How much men out there qualify for such a woman? And how much man out there will be able to attain such a woman?
Realistically?
Realistically.
I say like...
So let's operate on a realistic standpoint instead of a utopic view of how we think or want the world to be. You understand? Like, we're being realistic to what the hell is out there, my G. You get me? And your game is to go out there and acquire the resources. Nothing has changed from since primordial time. The man goes out and hunt. Now, you go out there and get the resources in the civilized world. You understand where I'm coming from? And her job is to do what?
Sit there and...
No. Manipulate you into handing over those resources.
I was about to say sit down and absorb
Not
those
all women.
resources. Not all of them. Not
Yeah.
my one. My one is...
Some women get their own money.
Guess what? They get their own money, but what happens? They're still not getting with no broke man. Why don't you want to get with no broke man and you got your own money? Because you're trying to utilize that other man's money in the future. That's how the game is played. So no matter how a woman talk about she have her own money, get with broke man then. Get with good broke men. But you're not going to do that. Why? Because you want to utilize that man's money and have your money as a plan B. This is how the game is played. So as I said, don't listen to sweet nothing from women. They will trick you out of your pocket.
I know a few women that I know a couple
They'll
of
trick
women.
you out of your pocket.
Listen, brother, I know a couple
But
of women.
it's just how the game is played.
No. Listen, I know a couple of women.
Because I'm going to
like a
go
good
deeper.
handful.
I'm going to go deeper. Go on. I'm going to go deeper. Go on.
I know a good couple of women that have dated broke men. Like I'm talking literally non-figuratively homeless men. And it all works out for them for some reason. Sometimes it doesn't, don't get it twisted, but it works out more time.
Where majority of these broke men, and you continuously hear women talk about these broke men putting on these broke men because they decide to take a chance and so-called man that they call broke, invite these men into their homes, get them pregnant on whatever these deadbeat dads. What are we talking about? Because bro, you have to understand how the game's been played, right? Even if you're in a relationship or you get married, there's still this component of I'm the hunter and you're trying to get my resources and you hand over the best thing that you've got to bargain with that I want so much is your sweet, succulent, viscous inside. It's not so much your love What are we talking about?
I'll be real, bro.
And I'm breaking it, hold up. And I'm breaking it down to you, to the realist.
It's true.
Because this is what I'm saying. I want you to think logically and not that pre-programmed bullshit that they've told us growing up, right? Because if you deep it this way, even if you're in a relationship or marriage, if you're not doing what you're supposed to do as a man, whether it comes to providing her with whatever she needs, she will go and get it elsewhere. And if she's not giving you vaginal access, you're gonna get it elsewhere. Because guess what? If that's not the case, you guys should be together and just loving each other without no sex. Loving each other without no so-called provision. But we know how the game is played, and that's the prime level of the game. You provide, she gives you box for your provision. Even in a marriage, a relationship, this is how the game is played. Because guess what?
True.
Like, guess what? In a marriage now, if you're not providing for your wife, it's done. If she's not giving you bucks, it's done. We can love on each other for 40 years. What are we... It would be nice in a utopic world, bro.
Okay, I'll stay realistic.
I'm just saying.
It is important. For us men, for us men,
sex
is important.
Priority.
Yeah.
I'm not
It's
gonna- it is.
primordial instincts. It's a natural, it's the base instincts of what everything is right now. Everything is built, sold on sex, around sex.
Yeah. Yeah. That is how they've
And
built.
women know how to use it. And us men are trying to fool ourselves that most women are being good or genuine or forthcoming with the information that they're providing us. The aim of the game is to fool the next person.
But I don't think everyone is on that, bro. And I'm not saying that's the case
everyone.
for yeah.
I'm not saying
but I'm
everyone,
saying in
'cause that
those
would be
scenarios, yeah, but in those scenarios where I can verify for myself, I have tangible evidence and proof that they're not on that. That's the stuff I want.
I think the men need to take accountability as
Because
well.
because a lot of guys don't know how to do that as well. That's where problems start as well. Men aren't really thinking about what consequences their actions are going to have later on down the line. That's
I had a mate I locked off because he was complaining about this girl. He's sleeping with this girl. He's got a boyfriend. He's got this one in this country. He's got a one on the side chick. He's got a main chick. And I'm like, he's telling me not to trust my whoever. I'm like, no. You're creating the distrust yourself because you're doing this and you're seeing all these girls that you don't trust. Like if you just took a break and just went with one and focused on that. If you see a red flag, bang, gone, she's gone. Focused on that rather than going with all these different ones. You're creating a distrust in your own head.
That too.
No, I agree with that 100%. You're right. Like, I think the fact that he was, going around and he was seeing all the bad in these other women that he shouldn't really be with to begin with.
Exactly.
He's going to start reflecting those traits and those habits on everyone.
Exactly.
I think that's also that analogy can also be applied to a lot of different things as well. For example, how black people view themselves. Because of what's been perceived of us by the media, we're just going to go and apply that to everything. Just a one size fits all.
Blood, you know what it is? Black people's problem is, obviously humanity's problem is that we don't know who we are and we don't know where we come from. So we don't know where the hell we're going.
Yeah.
That's our biggest problem and we're trying to work it out. You understand? So this is why we ain't got really no set rules of how to be and how to really govern and how to really... You understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
So this is why at the moment we got the pyramid where who's at the top and then we have the workers and the workers delegate more work for the other workers and the people at the bottom. We need all of this. You understand? At the moment, from what I can see, like this is how the structure works. Obviously, yes, we
The
can
wheels
agree.
don't move if that doesn't happen. Unfortunately, the wheels don't move if this pyramid scheme doesn't happen.
You understand? But to me, most people need to find out their part in that cog. And stop trying to be entitled or stop trying to think your value is more than it is. You understand?
But know that you can move from that, but don't have that entitlement, you know?
You understand? Because let's be honest, most people will never be rich. Majority of people, for a fact, on the planet will never be rich, never come close to it. You understand? You can attain for it. And guess what? Some men just happy just working a 9 to 5. Some men are just literally happy working at Tesco's and McD's that they got some money coming in and they're living a decent life. You understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
All right? But that's not good enough for some women. You get me?
They're all aiming for the same 1%, but
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No. There's nothing wrong with having your standards high, but as long as you can also match those same standards.
Exactly.
That too.
Why am I going to be aiming for an 8 or a 9 when I know I'm a 5? You feel? I'm going to be aiming for a 6 or a 4. Keep it within a reasonable, realistic range. That's what the issue is.
I think that's where having a good father role comes involved. You're telling your daughter, this is, you know, if you're giving her as a father what she needs, that's what she needs. Not going off of what she thinks she needs, all this material stuff. If her dad is a good role model, that's what she needs. You know?
No, I agree. You get me? Cause you ready for the next video? Yeah, this is the last one. You get me? Cause I want to mash this up quick. Yeah, that was a nice little chat up there. I finally feel like. Nice. Oh, you just turning it up? Okay. Yeah.
My guys are 13 and will fuck with pagans. My guys are 13 and will fuck with pagans.